me if you want to live. You just don't cut it off!
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to BACKTRACK Cinema, where we talk movies of the past. I'm your host, Jason Knight, and I got the Rocky Files on.
Hello.
Mike and Stacy to watch Rocky 2. And since this is pre-recorded, you guys can pause us, get your movie, do what you have to. We're going to start right away. This podcast needs no introduction. I think you guys know who the Rocky Files are, but if you don't, their link will be in the description below, and we're just going to get on with it because Rocky 2 is awesome. Commentary. I have some fun talking about Rocky 2. I did Rocky 1 with round 14. That was a lot of fun. So now we're on Rocky 2. So we're all ready to go, guys. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to count down from 5. When I say play, let's just all play. Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And we'll try and get as close as we can. So,
and there's that classic United Artists logo.
Now, this right here, this title screen was the first thing I ever remember anything about Rocky. I think it was like 4 years old, I think, sitting in front of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember it's in a movie. I remember Rocky 3, so I probably went back and watched this at some point.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't remember the very first one I saw in theaters was Rocky 3. But going into Rocky 3, I know the story. I remember knowing what it was. So at some point, I had to have watched it on TV or something.
Well, it was on Homebox one summer. That's where I saw Rocky 2 originally, was on Homebox at a buddy's house. We couldn't afford Homebox. Like most people, the one guy his father was a mailman, so he had some money, and that's where I first saw Rocky 2. And only recently did I see Rocky 2 during COVID in the movie theater.
That's right.
Oh, that would be so good.
I remember that.
And one thing I love here is starting off at round 14 to remind us of what was going on. It continues right into Rocky 2, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Love. Her face right there.
Best moment in the Rocky franchise. If you guys saw my video,
would agree. Would wholeheartedly agree. Look at that right there. Look at that moment. That's it. Dogged determination. He's dead, but it doesn't matter because all he wants to do is go the distance.
Right.
Look at that. Show me a better moment in movie history anywhere.
Oh, I agree with you.
And I'll punch myself in the face.
I've told people in movie in all the moments I can think of, this is the one that just keeps standing out. If I could go on an island, take one movie moment with me, it'd be round 14.
Yep.
When you got to climb that coconut tree that's hanging out over the cliff over the ocean, and you need one coconut, you will play that scene and climb the tree to get it. What that has to do with Rocky, I don't know. Everybody knows why the sweaters are pink, right?
Yes.
Right.
Tell them, and not everybody.
Yeah. Just in case anybody doesn't know. In case anybody doesn't know, the night before they filmed the fight scene, somebody had the bright idea. There's Mr. Frank Stallone Sr., the bell ringer. Somebody had the bright idea to wash the sweaters. The sweaters were originally white with red lettering, and the red lettering dye ran in the washing machine. There was no money in the budget for a wardrobe allowance, so they had to go with pink sweaters.
Wow.
Everybody knows that, though. That's nothing new. That's just tip of the iceberg.
I got Rocky novices who follow me too, so.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
It's good info. So I mean, I'm known as a Stallone person on the channel.
Yeah. But here's something that's cool about this. In this, when they pull away and we see the ring, Stallone made that in. He broke that up into 4 sections, and they would film it like a ballet in one corner, in another corner, then another one, and another one. And I always thought that was very, very interesting the way Sly had choreographed it. Imagine four sections, you know?
Yeah, it feels so different. You know, I can't remember many boxing movies before this.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and watch them, but Sly even said something like they really filmed this differently. It had a different pace. It had it was that Steadicam. The Steadicam was invented, right?
Garrett Brown had used it on a movie just before this called Bound for Glory, but nobody remembers that movie. Everybody knows this movie and Garrett Brown's contribution.
Yeah. And you just could do things. I mean, it's the way he follows him up the steps. Rocky 1. When he's going through the meat locker following Paulie, they just have the like before you'd have to lay out a dolly track and everything.
That's true.
And you'd have to that's why I think it gave low budget movies an opportunity to make maybe feel bigger than they were.
No, yeah. You know, here's something that's interesting. The music right here, I should have said this earlier. The music they're playing right now, this is the opening music. Bill Conti wrote a song for an Italian pop star, and he owned the rights to the musical notes, and this is the music that they used. He wrote that in 1972. And the hat, the beret, there was actually a scene written, I'm not quite sure if they filmed it, where Rocky is buying Adrian, he wants to buy her a gift. He's training for the fight, and they're walking down the street, and he sees she sees the red beret in a window, and she falls in love with it, and Rocky goes in and buys it. But what that was a filming, I guess, ploy or plot, I guess. When Rocky's in the ring, how's he going to see Adrian? Rocky, Adrian, how's he going to see her? His eyes are near shut. He's, 100 feet from her. He can't see her, but he can see the red hat making its way through the crowd. And at the last minute, that gets pulled, and he lost her, and he goes into a panic. And that was the whole concept of the red beret.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
That's cool.
Again, this is like Rocky 101. Everybody knows this. So forgive me if I'm saying simple things.
I listen to this song every day.
This song broke me down and rebuilt me all through high school. This redemption is beautiful.
Yep.
Simply beautiful.
Yeah. I love it.
Coming up, I want everybody to pay attention to something when they come around City Hall. To the right is there's City Hall, so they're going to go around. See, right here, the hospital is right down the street. Forget what I was going to say. So here they come. As they come around the corner here, through the windshield, to the right, you're going to see a city bus. On the back of the city bus, right there, is Paradise Alley. That's an advertisement for Paradise Alley with a picture of Stallone in the corner. Oh. You got to enlarge it on a flat screen, but trust me, it's there.
Wow.
So, like in the opening credits, when we see the ambulance going over the bridge, there is absolutely no reason for the ambulance to go over the bridge. It would just go up South Broad Street. It would go right up. It would take a right on I don't know, Tasker or Dickinson or something, and it would go down to the hospital, which is right off South Broad. But I'm just being picky.
I love the continuity of the makeup. I mean,
yeah, but Rocky's hair is a lot longer here. That's the one thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is the lobby of a hotel out in California. I want to say a Holiday Inn, but I'm not 100% sure.
I love how Apollo wants to finish the fight. I'm like, that's so Apollo. Just can't let it go.
Oh, Apollo knows he lost in the eyes of the people.
Yeah.
Should have stayed at school or something.
I don't see it.
Great line.
Now, I always say Stallone, not as experienced as a director now as he was then, and I think he
reversed that.
Yeah, I think
more experienced now versus back then.
Yeah, he's a more experienced now.
Right.
I don't want to say he played it safe in this movie. I want to say he he was going after the same tone, I guess.
Mhm.
But in
Yes,
Rocky 3,
right.
he went, "Oh, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to
Right.
change it
Bless
up,"
you, Stacy.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. No, you're totally right. Rocky 3, he wanted something different.
Nikki.
Tell him, Nick. So
That's
there
a
was a
nice
scene.
scarf she's wearing.
Oh yeah, red, white, and blue.
Hmm.
Very appropriate. There was a scene right here where Adrian walks Paulie out. We assume Adrian and Paulie are going to leave, and the original scene was her and Paulie go to a cab, and Paulie says, "Get in the cab, Adrian." And he goes, she goes, "No, I'm going back to the room." And he goes, "Get in the cab, I tell yous." And she goes, "No, Paulie, you get in the cab. I'm staying with Rocky." And Rocky comes back from the surgery. So we see this. He comes wheeled into the room, and he's coming out of his anesthesia, and Adrian is in the corner standing there. She won't go home. She will not leave his side. And she sits in the chair, and he goes, "Oh, where's Paulie?" I put him in a cab, and she sleeps in the chair all night with him. But that's
Well,
got
that
cut.
would have been made sense of, because when she goes into the coma, it gets reversed. It would have been
Excellent point,
actually-
my friend. I'm really glad you said that. Excellent point.
It's earned. That would have been earned, all that.
Yeah. By the way, Charlie Flynn, it was one of Stallone's real friends as a kid.
Oh, cool. And Paulie is so thin in this movie.
He was filming a movie called Uncle Joe Shannon about a trumpet player, and he had lost a lot of weight for that movie.
Okay.
Again, I know people are going like, "Yeah, Mike, we know that already.
I
Get to
didn't
the
know
good
that.
stuff." Well, I'll build to it.
Okay, I am a nurse, and this nurse annoys me.
Right? Would you ever ask for an autograph, Stacy?
I would never ask for an autograph, and I would like later. I mean, we'll get to it. She's like, "You have to leave." These days, I mean, I'm sure it was more strict back then, but these days, they in that situation, they would never have family leave in a situation that's
My kid
serious.
would die for your autograph.
I just love how he says, "The Charlie Flynn, who I don't even know." It's like this new sense of fame is, he just doesn't get it. He's
Right?
just not.
It's not real yet for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cheeseball. It's so cringe watching her do.
He can barely, he's just out of surgery. He can, one eye, broken nose.
Yeah. I've
And that's
taken
like-
care of two notable actors and several notable athletes, and I never
Really?
I just pretended like they were just regular people. I would never do that.
Yo, Paul.
Oh, this is a great moment, actually,
Yeah.
because now the cameras are not there.
The truth is told. Now, was Apollo saying that to be kind to Rocky? Or in that moment, did Apollo let go of his ego? That's not the most convincing, yeah.
I always thought that was honest.
I did too. But there is ambiguity there.
Yeah. Never
Yeah,
even,
he's also probably doped up on drugs. Because he just
which
came
is
in the middle
truth
of the night.
serum. So it's the truth. Decided.
Did you guys catch what this guy's name is?
No.
His name is Pete. Do you remember in Creed? I don't even like saying that name. It's so disgusting rolling off the tongue of my. But do you remember the name of the older guy, Leo the Lion's father? The
Yes.
guy Rocky sold the gym to? Do you remember his name?
Yes, Pete.
Pete.
Sport something. That's
Yeah.
Pete? That's the same guy?
I'm just
Supposed to
saying
be?
it's Pete. I'm just saying it's interesting. Ryan Coogler's favorite movie is Rocky 2. And this is what he took a lot of things from.
Oh, I wonder if that's him then. Like years later. That's kind of neat.
Just don't say Creed 3, because that thing was just heartless.
I don't even acknowledge it. I'll just call you. Go, hey, yo.
He's got brain damage.
Shades of what's to come. Okay, so here's an interesting story. You guys know the background why they went to the tiger's cage?
I heard it. Now I can't remember. I know. I've heard the story. I can't remember it.
So this scene was originally much longer. This scene, Rocky was very nervous, working up the gumption to ask her to marry him, and he was going to walk by the giraffe, the hippo, the elephant, all the big animals. Adrian was in a pet shop, small cages. This is a big cage, big animals. So it's the next level, right? Everything's got to be bigger. Well, there was a freak snowstorm the night before, and none of the animals wanted to come out. So they waited 5-6 hours, and 2 animals came out. An ostrich, which is an ugly creature, and the tiger. The tiger worked very nicely with the film crew, and they said, let's get over to the tiger cage. They were about to go someplace else, and we get this scene. I love that.
Not the way I proposed.
It ain't the way I proposed. Mine was the most pathetic proposal in the world.
Oh, mine wasn't very good either, but it worked.
It worked, right? We somehow fooled people into marrying us.
Watch this one moment. I've always noticed this, and I don't know. And he says, I'll be a good guy.
The hand on the shoulder. She shrugs at it.
Hold on. See, like right there. I think she was about to kiss him, and then he's just puts his arm around her.
Talia Shire she knew all the nuances. Her body language just completely changes.
That's why
I saw old Rocky 2 interviews.
Yeah.
While they're in the church, like they're off to the side. Talia Shire doesn't act anything like Adrian. Like she's actually very outgoing and very I don't know, like she's got charisma and everything.
Well, she does, but it's very forced. She was Adrian. She is an incredibly shy person, but she knows for whatever reasons, and I don't know the answer to this, but for whatever reasons, she went down the road. She said, okay, I am shy. I'm going to force myself to be outward thinking, outward going. So she is an introvert, but she was an extrovert in public in front of the cameras, but she is painfully shy. Painfully shy.
Really? Because every time because I saw interviews, she doesn't seem it.
Right, because she's conquered her fear. She's very Rocky-esque. She's Adrian. You know, she's the strength behind the man.
And then she, in The Godfather, is a completely different character. And, like,
sure, Connie Corleone.
Right?
Jesus, I mean, she is so devastatingly beautiful with that long black hair in Godfather. Oh, my God. I think she's better looking than the Farrah Fawcett poster.
All right, I'm sorry. If I could take one scene out of Rocky 2, it's the condominiums.
Oh, yeah.
It's always annoyed me.
Has it really? I never knew that about you. Really?
Yeah, always annoyed me. I'm like, I'm sorry. He may not be, a scholar, but he's not that stupid either.
You know what? I've watched, because I've reviewed all these movies now. I watch other people's reviews to see what they think. And some people really feel like he dumbed Rocky down a bit in this. That's one thing it's kind of a mix for them. They're kind of like, I don't like the way they dumbed Rocky down a bit.
Yeah.
And I go, he did take a beating, like a massive one.
I don't know. I'm like, yeah.
I didn't. I love it.
Don't make him.
You guys notice on the right hand side at the far stanchion, right at the right hand side where the cars are moving, those are all people standing behind police barricades. They didn't realize they were in the shot. This looks like Sasha in the blonde hair standing to the left of Frank. That does look like Sasha Zach there in the brown camel coat.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite songs. I love this song.
Two Kinds of Love.
Yep.
Frank looks like he has a perm, but that's his hair. Right across the street is where he walks down the steps, and Rocky says, get a job, you bum, the bum from the dark. But you see that empty lot right there? There was a building there. It was knocked down right after filming.
Wow. Yeah, I'm full of information now. So this true commentary. When I watched Stallone's First Blood commentary, I watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
And someone said, "How do you know so much about First Blood?" I go, "Watch the commentary." Stallone actually says stuff like if I digress a bit, in British Columbia where it was filmed in this town, it was full of lumberjacks, he said. And one of the lumberjacks, one of the local people didn't like this film crew coming in filming their movie there.
It's true.
And Brian Dennehy, Stallone said Brian Dennehy, one of the lumberjacks, almost got into it, and it would have been pretty. He says Brian Dennehy could take care of himself. Like he was not a force to be. He was a character actor, but he could be a scary dude. He said.
Do you notice what's missing in this photo in this section? Look at the shelving unit. Number 1, the tack paper that Adrian had in the brown paper bag. The tack paper is still there, okay? But there is no curtains around it. When you go back and look, when we first see Rocky enter his apartment, the shelves are red and there are no curtains. Adrian, when she gives Butkus to Rocky, she has a brown paper bag on the steps as Rocky's playing with Butkus in the street. In that bag is curtains that went around that to dress it up. And look at this section right here. This is all different. This is all changed.
Yeah. Well, how long would he have been healing? 6 weeks?
So he was only in the hospital, I'd say about a week, maybe a week and a half, maybe a week and a half, maybe.
I like how Rocky 4 he goes back to that. You remember me telling you you're never getting rid of me? So I like how he keeps
a theme through. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like this is when I told you this is when I told you that, and we can go back and really feel it because we were there too, right? That's what I love about the franchise, that when you follow Adrian and Rocky along, you're following them through their world. And like I said to you guys, like that's why he feels like a friend, because you're just sitting there soaking everything in.
Coming up, where he buys the car, that was a real Pontiac car dealership. It then closed down and became a Starbucks, and now it's vacant, and it's probably going to get torn down any day now. But I love that I love the intimacy they show here. This is absolutely incredible. Now, this guy in the brown suit, I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I'm about 80% sure. The guy in the brown suit is Little Marie's dad from the first movie in real life. Oh. Yeah, Letizia is his last name. He was a family friend of the Stallones.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I don't know how to drive. Now, that car, you guys know that's a 79 Trans Am, right? Yes. And this is 1976. So how does Rocky get a 79 Trans Am?
Well, they did that with Sage in Rocky 4. They took advantage of the real-time passing.
That's why you gotta, because there's continuity, not as bad as some other franchises, but like Rocky 5, you're just kind of like, wow, he was 9, now he looks 14.
Yeah.
Or Rocky 4, Adrian tells Paulie, you've been out of the ring almost 5 years. The last fight he had would have been in Rocky 2 here. So that means it was only 5 years. And then Rocky says, we've almost been married 9 years.
Right. It's all messed up.
Right. Yeah.
What?
I love Adrian though. She doesn't. She's allowing him to go through all this, but
she's allowing him to burn his about 37 grand. Burn it.
She doesn't need any of this stuff. She doesn't.
So Stacy, $37,000 times 5, and that's the value today. What it would have been back then.
Okay.
So what's 37 times 5? I don't know.
Well, 3 times 5 is
150 grand, about 150 grand figure.
In there, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
So
car.
yeah, and it was an ode. Stallone told me that he thought Rocky would be a Burt Reynolds fan, Smoking the Bandit, and this was a nod to that. Now, here's the thing about this house. They filmed the exteriors, and Sly told me they filmed in the basement. But if you look at it, there's one window right there. Yep. There's one large window.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember that. Now, this lamp, number plate, and mailbox, those are identical. Those are still there to this day.
Really?
It's never been changed. This is a Hollywood set right here.
And then
it makes
the
sense,
window's
they
not the
wanted
same.
It empty, right? They wanted it empty.
Yeah, they wanted. Well, yeah, right. They had to empty it out. So, but here's the thing, though. When he's punching the bag after he gets fired, there are two windows in the basement. And Sly told me they filmed the boxing bag scene in punching the bag in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, how does that happen? But then I thought, oh, well, there's the back of the house where there's two windows. I thought, that makes sense. That shiny jacket. You know, a lot of you guys know where you got the jacket from, the tiger jacket.
It's a nice one. I know that.
So about 2 months before he filmed Rocky 2, he was in the Village in New York City. He was just roaming around, and he goes in and he's in a punk rock shop, and he sees this jacket there, and he says, my God, this is the ugliest jacket I've ever seen. I hate the shininess. I hate the tiger. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But Rocky would like it because Rocky doesn't have any style when it comes to dressing.
Right.
So there's one jacket and it happened to be his size. So he goes to the front counter. He pays for it. As he's buying the jacket, to his left is the leather bracelet on display with the silver studs.
Yes.
That's where he buys it at. And then he incorporates it how he does here. And of course, if anybody knows our good friend Tony DeGennaro and you see the gold cross, you'll know Tony it makes it mandatory for all people in the family to wear the gold cross. And it's a beautiful thing.
It's sweet.
Yeah. I think they should have had more with Apollo and his wife in this movie.
That is such a great question to ask. And the only thing I will come away with, the only answer to that I would say is the movie is called Rocky.
Yes.
Not Apollo. And it's one of the reasons why I understand why Rocky was so derailed in the Creed movies, because they are called Creed, not Rocky 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever.
Right.
So
they explore that history, right?
They explore, right. I get that. But I got to tell you, to your point, I would love to see way more of Carl Weathers. And I promise you, there's a ton of deleted scenes with Carl there, vamping it up, doing a whole bunch of things. I would love to see all of that. I love that.
It's like I love how he's just out with kids and he's out.
Yeah.
This is the precursor to the run with the children. This is the show that he's ingratiated himself with the kids. Yeah.
Get married, get a house, have a kid.
You did it.
It's all happening.
You did it. For decades, I would have cut my right arm off, swearing it was a black hat.
Oh.
Swearing. About 7 years ago is when maybe 6 years ago is when I figured out it was Navy. Maybe 5 years ago. What a revelation. Okay, this scene coming up is in Rittenhouse Square.
Yeah, I like it. I like the setting.
This is a beautiful scene. You'll see the people looking. They just jumped out, filmed it, and left. This is a beautiful area. Rittenhouse Square is a very ritzy, high-end section of Philadelphia. Very beautiful section there. I drive around it sometimes on tours. I don't always go there. It's a little congested for me, but
I love how he's talking about, if he had a daughter, I don't know what I'd do with a daughter. Now he's got 3, right?
Right? Good point, Stacy.
I have 3 boys, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That's the Barclay Hotel in back of them with that green awning.
Oh yeah, I
It's
see
the
that.
Barclay. So if you Google Earth Barclay Hotel at Rittenhouse Square, you'll line this all up quite nicely.
Oh, cool. Like you.
You look at how goddamn adorable she is.
She's
Jesus.
so cute. I love her.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's adorable.
We wanted to wait till the swelling went down.
Beast after shave.
Liar.
I look
All
stupid,
right.
don't I?
Yes. Adrian, hey, Adrian, back up a little bit. How about saying, no, you're fine. You're doing this for money. No, you look stupid. Come on.
You know,
Now,
she's upset because he's being humiliated and she doesn't like it one bit.
yeah, but it ain't helping that she tells him he looks stupid. She should have said, "Oh, don't worry about it. You're doing a good thing for the family. Don't worry about it."
I think
Now
she would
listen.
have liked him to get up and walk out, like right here.
Well, there's a deleted scene I'll tell you about in a second. But when he gets up and he walks over to the set, look in the background. You will see one of the director chairs, and it says Joe Spinell on the director chairs, and Joe Spinell is the actor who played Gazzo. So hang on, keep looking in the background. Right? No, not there.
Oh,
there it
yeah,
is, Joe Spinell, right there. Joe Spinell. Right in front of the guy with the flat top that's playing cards. It's right in back of him. Okay, so here we all know this scene very well. So they go through this scene in the boxing ring when Rocky is doing his thing and he's screwing up and the guy is ignorant. This guy right here with the white cap, the director, John Plachette, I believe is his name. When Rocky is so angry, he takes the Beast aftershave bottle and he drops it all over him. He pours the cologne all over him and he pushes him out of the way. That's a deleted scene that never made the movie because it's not Rocky. Rocky would rather be humiliated and embarrassed than hurt another person who isn't in his fighting world. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. This actor did a good job though, because you hate him. You hate the way how
John Plachette. Yeah, he's very, very good.
That was a good job.
And this was all based, Stallone wrote this all based on a commercial he had done in college, when we just right out of college. He had done a cologne commercial right out of college. And, I had to go back and I put it on Instagram about a year ago. And I remember Sly commented on it, but I should go back and put it up again. And smell like a jungle.
This is me doing YouTube videos.
This is all of us when we started. This is all of us fumbling over our.
I still do it. I still go, welcome back to the welcome back, everyone.
You know who doesn't do that, Jason? Stacy. She's perfect. She never makes a mistake.
Are you kidding me?
It's disgusting.
Thank God for my edit button.
Yeah.
I can never spit out a point. You know that. Don't even start.
But I tell people too, I make cuts for pacing. I try to pace the video so it feels like it's not as long.
Sure.
I try to give people a short, I'm in and I'm out kind of thing.
Right.
And then when I do something like this or a live stream, that's more like you get more one-on-one with me. But when I do a review, it's usually with Rocky, I kind of get carried away, but yeah.
While we're here, Jason, your top 50. That was a great review. It really was.
Yeah. I had a lot of people tell me, one guy gave me the best compliment and he said, man, he says, the way you dissected every single scene, he said, you should have been a writer. He says, you were making me think about things that I never even saw in those scenes.
Yep.
He goes, I watched it twice all the way through. And
it's fabulous.
Yeah, he really liked it.
I'm punchy.
My problem is I get caught up in the movie and I just dummy up and I don't say nothing. And I got to remember, we're talking about the movie. Yeah, okay.
Like, was that facial supposed to be believable? Like, really?
No. It was supposed to be stupid and gaudy and goofy. Like,
with his hair back, he looks like he's from Rocky IV here.
He looks like Stanley Rossiello from Lords of Flatbush. That's what he looks like.
That's it. Yes.
And here we go. Humiliation at its finest. Now look at the back, how his shorts are pinned.
Mm.
I wonder if those are the original first shorts that he wore or if they were different. Now this is a Western novel that he's reading. And I always wonder why Western? Does Rocky love Westerns? I guess so.
Or I think they're easy reads, some of them.
Maybe.
He's learning to read. Not exactly Moby Dick, right? So
right. You gotta love him in the muscle t-shirt, the wife beater.
Oh yeah.
What a horrible term, wife beater.
You lie nice.
You lie nice.
Yeah, he's reading Louis L'Amour. My grandfather
Correct.
read those all the time. They're easy.
Oh yeah. Another one bragging about.
I will say that this movie is it's heavy on the back end. As soon as she falls in that coma, this movie goes 5 out of 5 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's so good. A lot of people feel like the first half of this movie is a bit slower than Rocky 1 even. But I think it's just, we have to bring Rocky down again. We have to knock him down again so we can build him back up again. Because that's the only way the character works. That's the way the character works. He has to be brought down.
He has to be lost.
Yeah, exactly.
That powder blue leisure suit, right? It's so Cousin Eddie. So Cousin Eddie. I love it.
You're right, actually. Now, in the real world, he probably could have got a laborer's job in a machine shop or something like that. Because back in those days, my dad hired a lot of people who were on the simpler side, you know what I mean, who could run just a drill press or something. But that wasn't the point of all this. The point was he was
all right.
I
gotta tell you this story, Jason. So look at this. You see the Holiday Inn towel behind him?
I love this.
Okay, so the Holiday Inn towel. So I took a snapshot of this. I sent it to Stallone, and he writes me back, and he says, Mike, he goes, here's the story. He goes, in between collecting for Gazzo and fighting, he wasn't making enough money. So Rocky becomes a towel boy at the Holiday Inn in Philadelphia, and he doesn't like it very much. So he steals a bunch of towels because his are so dry rotted, and that's why he has a Holiday Inn towel. Rocky was a towel boy at one point. I love that. Love that.
Now, at the time of this recording, I just put out my lockup review, and that was Frank McRae, who's in that, and him and Stallone
Eclipse
work really good together. I might add.
Sure.
They bounce off that movie really well. And I say that in my review is like you'll know Frank McRae from Rocky 2, who runs the meat house.
It's funny. In Rocky 3, Gazzo is in the locker room originally with Rocky before the Thunderlips fight. He's in the locker room. Yeah. And in Rocky 4, Rocky is originally driving down South Street in the Lamborghini in the No Easy Way Out montage. And there's a scene where he's seeing the imagery, and there's a news bulletin or it's a newspaper clipping that they throw in the montage, and it shows a picture of Gazzo laying back in the car with a bullet in his head, and Buddy the driver has 2 bullets in his head. So that's what happened. But, at the end of the day, it didn't make the movie. But it was in like the way, way, way back original script.
Trash can. Boom.
Well, you look tired. No, I'm okay. My face is tired, but I'm okay. That door is still on the house with the brass door knocker and the raised diamond or triangle molding. That is the same door that is there to this day. That's
kind of cool.
Yeah. What I like about all this is that this is a different kind of working that he's not used to.
It's the everyday real world working.
It's where he was like, and we'd look at training for a boxing fight. It's insane. It's like people have told me who really trained for stuff like that said it's worse than military training.
Sure, it is.
It's a brutal.
But he's not training now. He's not doing anything now.
He's not doing this. Is like me going to work, man. Just exhausted.
It's like all of us going to work. That's
Sure.
what it is. You know, you got to go in, you got to put your time in, do your deal, and then you come home. And now think about this scene. Think about how he's wrinkled from the water and he's got to wrap those sheets around it. I mean, it's crazy. And being bent over in a cold warehouse, your lower back is going to kill you. And this is what he's got to do, labor, because he's not qualified for anything else. And my God, do I feel this. This was
miserable labor. Miserable right there.
If Stallone never did Rocky Balboa, this is me. Rocky 2 at this point, I never go past that. This is as good as my life ever gets. Thank God for Rocky Balboa. Jesus, I could tell you so many stories about Rocky Balboa. Your old friends never tasted this good.
I did a lot of, like, I've been working in the same place for 25 years, and a lot of it was laborious when I was 19. But I've worked my way up towards everything's getting automated now, and I got a lot more experience, and I know what I'm doing now. And
come on, doing good. Union rules. Got a video today.
Yeah, I like the way Sly handles all this because
stoic.
Yeah, he's showing like that.
This kills me.
He doesn't know anything else. Like he's.
Hey, food for thought. This is about 900 yards down the road from where he threw Bob up against the fence to get up against that metal tower to break his thumbs in Rocky 1. This is just down the street. Paulie's great here. God, he's awesome. Look at him. Look at him. Little shit stir. That's what Paulie is.
Hey, you know what? I don't blame Rocky. I wouldn't take one either. That was me. No.
I might take a handout. I might. I got to be honest. I might. But then again, I don't got the cojones Rocky does.
I mean, you go looking from Rocky's point of view. He's supposed to be taking care of Adrian, and that's
right.
That's her brother. Closest thing to the father, I guess, a father, right? So he doesn't want to admit that they're going to be going through hard times. He can't get a job.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, if you ever wanted some insight into Adrian's character, you should have a private conversation with Stacy, because she wrote a glorious script about Adrian and how she got to be where she is. And if I had $25 million, I would back a movie for Stacy to make that happen.
So would I.
Thank you.
Well, you got to just think, like, he did all this hard training in this movie too, right? She would have been making the top meals for him, making sure that he like to train, he'd have to be fed properly, right? And Rocky 1, he talks about for
you see the two windows in the back? I don't want to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, Jason, but there's not many scenes. These are where the two windows are, and of course Rocky's socks that he wears later in the movie at the fight, they were hanging off to the right. Yeah, so we got the two windows here. And it's really confusing to me because I know that the plan of the house, and it's a weird thing. But anyways, you were saying about the meals.
Yeah, he said for one Thanksgiving, him and the Turtles had Spam. Like this is the kind of he wasn't eating at all, and like so when he got with Adrian, he started eating meat every day. He got meat from Polly. She probably made him protein cookies and all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? What do you think, Stacey?
I'm sorry. I apologize. I was just having technical difficulties and I was trying to match my screen. So I missed that past commentary.
That's okay.
I apologize.
This would
This is
This
so
will hurt.
so. Yeah, exactly, Jason. This hurts. This is so offensive to Rocky that she has to go back to work.
Now, mind you, in this day and age, it's probably not a big a deal. But back in 1979, or this would be actually 77, wouldn't it? Like
This would
in
be
the movie time,
1976. This would be
Yeah.
1976 in Rocky's time.
in Rocky's time. So this would be like no, like you don't have to get a job. I can handle it.
Men are very, 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 very different today than they were then. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying younger men who would be 30, 31 years old, Rocky's age here, they are very, very different than men were back then. Very
Yeah.
different.
And I love how he takes it out on the punching bag after she leaves.
Oh, right, Jason? Totally.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I would be like, I wouldn't blow up because it's not really her. In a lot of ways, she's making sense. They need food.
Totally.
Right?
He's just humiliated as a man. He's not equipped to pay the bills.
I love it.
Because he made her a promise not to fight. Look at that. Look at that. Come on.
So good.
Punching the
Should have
shit
made my
out
top
of
50. What am I thinking?
Cleto Reyes bags. Just an amazing moment. Now, here's something that's interesting. So I made a stunning revelation the other day. You can go back and see that on my Instagram. But there is a very rare photo of Rocky and Butkus sitting on the steps of the art museum. And Rocky's in the yellow T-shirt with the black tiger jacket, and Butkus is wearing the green jersey, and Rocky's pointing. It's a deleted scene. Rocky is telling Butkus that he wants to go and talk to Mickey to get his locker back. They've walked from the art museum up to the gym, and of course, Rocky has a key, and he goes in, and Mickey slaps them back into reality. Yeah. It was a deleted scene. There was actually a 9-minute montage of Rocky and Butkus walking through the city.
Wow.
Rocky talking with Butkus how depressed that he is, and that he's not happy about where he is in his life.
Who the hell is that?
Avon lady. Of course, this interior is out in Los Angeles, the Main Street Gym. That's where this is.
You know, that happens a lot. You know, their exteriors and their interiors are two different.
Ghostbusters, same thing.
They
stupid
filmed,
things better.
They filmed the remake of It, you know, Pennywise the Clown It, down the street from me. And
nice.
They filmed it a house somewhere. That was the exterior of the house. But the interior was like in Toronto somewhere.
Gotcha.
That kind of thing.
This breaks my heart.
Yeah.
You tell me it's over.
The thing is, though, did he have to fight Apollo? He could have maybe worked his way up. Took some. What? I think that's what he's trying to tell Mickey. Like, do we have to fight? Like, maybe we could do better this time. What? You don't have to start with Apollo.
I don't know. I think he's thinking if we train harder, if we focus more, maybe we can beat Apollo this time. That's what I think he's thinking. Rocky's already been elevated. He's elevated above every other fighter. It was freak luck what happened to him. Freak luck. But it happened. So now he just took himself. He was here with every other boxer. Yep. And now Rocky's way up here because of freak luck. So now he's got to deal with it. Now he's got a new thing he's got to deal with.
He's essentially the number one contender.
Yeah, good point. Yes, because he just beat the hell out of the champion.
Yeah, which has never been done.
Right. Nobody's ever gone the distance with Creed before. And that was from a broken down pug like me.
Harsh reality. The tools aren't there no more, like he says.
For the record, I have about 9 sweaters like Mickey's. I
need
love
one.
those. I love those. Clark Griswold has one. Rocky wears one in Creed 2. I love these sweaters. I love these sweaters.
That's one thing I did like about Creed is when Rocky is taking shots all the time, going, I
Yeah.
used to do those with one arm push-ups.
Right,
And say
exactly.
and he's sitting there, he goes, I like when he says, that bell doesn't mean it's time to stop, Donnie. That bell means hell. Keep going.
Yeah, right. That bell don't mean school's out. That bell means hell.
Like, we know he's going to get back in the ring again, but I like the journey of it. That's
what it's all about. The journey.
Right? I hear a lot of people will say stuff like, it's so predictable. Generally in a movie.
I tend to punch those people in the mouth.
Sometimes that's not the point. Sometimes it's the journey to get there. Right.
All right. Tony Burton. I love this guy.
So good.
Best scene Tony Burton's ever done in his life. Coming up.
Yeah.
The ego won't hear it.
Can't.
The man just kept coming after you. Oh my God, that's so perfect. Boom! Apollo Creed. That ought to be on a t-shirt someday.
I wonder if these two had a conversation about, I told you this was not going to be a...
well, that's just it. I would love to interview Carl Weathers and ask him, what are you talking about with Tony Burton? How do you get to this scene? Sly's there as director of Rocky 2, but how do you and Tony Burton get here? How does this scene happen? Let it go.
It's almost like Rocky talking to Apollo in Rocky 4. You know what I mean? Like,
you don't know this guy Apollo Drago. You realize
where he starts kind of becoming a villain. So he starts doing some nasty.
Yeah. As much as Apollo can be a villain, I mean, because he's just a little ego, a little antagonistic, but
I like to look at characters through their own point of view, and I think Apollo here, his legacy's really in jeopardy now.
Sure, of course it is.
You know what I mean? Like, if he was to retire with Rocky doing that to him, that people would be looking at him like.
Now, what color t-shirt does Rocky have on right there?
Blue.
It looks black.
No?
It's black. Just keep that in mind. The guy right there, the shirtless guy to the left, the Latino guy that hands him the paper, that's Chink Weber.
Oh, from Lockup.
No.
Well,
Chink Weber. That was supposed to be Chuck Wepner's role.
Oh, okay.
That was the character Chuck Wepner was going to play, but he showed up coked out of his mind with 2 whores to the reading with Stallone and the producers. That's the guy Chuck Wepner was going to play.
Now, did he actually try to sue Stallone? Was that all real? I don't care.
I wish. Raw and uncut. Yes, I know. That is a very, very real thing that happened. I'll tell you what, there is so much I could say about that, but I promised 2 people I never would. So, but I'll tell you off screen, I just can't say anything publicly about it.
Fine.
Hey, Rock.
I'll tell you this. When people tell me, "Oh, did you know that Chuck Webner was the real Rocky? Stallone stole it." I go, I actually get emotional. I tell people, you know what, you don't know what you're talking about.
Most people have no idea, Jason, that although Chuck Wepner was a catalyst, he was a catalyst that said, "Oh, the fight." Rocky Marciano was Stallone's boxing hero. Most people do not know the role Charlie Chaplin played in Rocky to give Rocky the character that he has. I guarantee you 99% of Rocky fans have no shitting idea what Charlie Chaplin means to this character.
Yeah.
That Charlie Chaplin really has more to do with Rocky than Chuck Wepner or anybody else.
Do you know so one of the Canadian, one of the best Canadian fighters was George Chuvalo.
Chuvalo, of course. Of course.
Right? He's a big my grandfather actually knew him back in the 50s.
Yeah.
Anyways, you watch the first Muhammad Ali Chuvalo fight, it's just like this fight.
I know.
He beats him in the body, he loses the fight, and then after the fight, Muhammad Ali went to the hospital. George Chuvalo went dancing with his wife, and he said, "So who won the fight?"
Yeah.
He never been knocked down to a mat ever in his entire career. He had his retina detached from his eye by George Foreman, and he was told, "You know, I can go back out. Your retina's detached." Tough.
Wow.
Canadian tough.
Remember that guy, Jason?
Yeah, he gets humiliated from every angle, from every
angle. A low life thug. Now again, a lot of people don't know this. Gazzo was originally Rocky's brother. A lot of people don't know that.
Brother or brother-in-law?
Stepbrother. Stepbrother.
I missed it, but I like how he rubbed his cross when he's do that stuff.
Yeah. Now, it's later that night. What color sweatshirt is Rocky wearing?
Gray.
He got sweaty and went home and changed?
You're right. So he went from wearing a black sweatshirt entering the gym, then he's wearing the gray sweatshirt. Now he's got a gray sweatshirt. Now, when he goes home and he's watching Apollo on TV, let's see what color shirt he has on then.
I never picked up on all this stuff.
Yeah, well, that's because you're not a maniac. That's because you have friends and a life.
I don't actually.
Look at that hat. Look at the beauty of that damn hat. Jesus.
He wears it so well, too.
Look at how gorgeous she is. Oh, my God. A lot of people don't know this, but the guy that yells at Rocky across the street, "Yo, you're really Sweetfoot, man."
This is humiliating. Like, that would just be...
Humiliation tour the entire first half.
I mean, if Adrian wasn't there, it'd be like, no, little Marie, it ain't all right.
It's a fishbowl.
Now he's back with the black T-shirt. Crazy.
That's probably because they filmed it two different.
Yeah.
They probably forgot.
Just editing. They missed it in editing.
Yep. Your script supervisor is usually keeping an eye on all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know. They ought to hire me for that. Cue Brent Musburger.
This is great. He doesn't have furniture, right?
Right? Sitting on the stairs.
His chair over there.
And a plant. Look at Buckus. Look at him. You'll notice Leroy Neiman in the background at some point here filming with Apollo.
Scallion.
Oh, look at her. She feels bad for her husband. He's got to endure this bullshit.
I love it. Stallone gives a good nod.
We've all been there. Yeah. Men and women alike. We have all been there when we realize, oh, I'm going into obscurity. I need to do something. Man, he's so insulted. His code as a man is so insulted.
But his promise to his wife's his bond. He's not ever going to.
That's it. Yeah, exactly right. Lipton cup of soup.
Yes.
Lousy bum.
Freaking Mickey's feet. They got bandages all over.
Yeah, I know, right? One sock on, one no sock.
Stacy, tell me what Adrian's, as a woman, what she's feeling here. For your interpretation, anyway.
Everybody criticizes her for, trying to talk him out of it. But I mean, injury's real. He's already having vision problems. He needs to be a father. He's about to be a father, and he could very seriously be injured. And I think she doesn't want him to do it simply for his health, his safety. And I mean, we see what Muhammad Ali happened to him, years and years and years of that. That's real brain damage.
Yeah, it also is a great segue into Rocky 3.
Mm-hmm.
Why, let's face it, what kind of health was he in after the Rocky 2 fight?
Right.
And what Mickey decided to do, decided to protect him, right?
Protect him, right. But I mean, he was beat nearly to death, and she says it in the future. I took those hits with you. I mean, she was injured with him, just watching him suffer. She's suffering. You suffer with your spouse, whatever they're going through.
And God knows what the healing process was like.
Yeah.
Oh
dear.
And Mickey's a fighter, so he understands what Rocky's going through.
Mm. Absolutely. Yeah. This is tough.
Oh my God, look at how gorgeous she is. Holy Jesus.
Even when she's mad.
Holy God, is she beautiful.
She's gorgeous there. She is beautiful.
Jesus.
This is tough.
And this is a couple who, when they signed to get married, it was forever. This is not something like, you know what, I'm not putting up with this horse crap. I'm out.
I love that
unintentionally making a joke out of the whole thing.
I love how he talks about the Muppets, and then of course he's on the Muppet Show
Right?
during this time period.
Yeah.
Look at Apollo, so pissed. Another thing that should be on a shirt. I don't sweat you.
I think I've seen it on a mug somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. I got a mug like that. I bought it from Burt Young's little store there online before he passed.
Yes, that's it. That's where I saw it. Exactly.
Yep.
Wasn't that Rocky Day awesome? I saw everyone's Instagram things.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There was quite a lot of Rocky Day stuff.
Yeah. I was so happy for our
I don't see
people.
a Raging Bull Day.
Right?
Raging Bull sucks. It lost so much money for the studio. It was ridiculous. But it's regarded as one of De Niro's greatest triumphs ever. And
Well,
I wouldn't take that away from De Niro, but it's not a very engaging movie. It really isn't, regardless of what Michael Rappaport says.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not.
Yeah,
I've
his
watched
characters.
clips of it. I've watched clips of it, and I didn't. I do have to do a full watch of it, but
You
when people
should.
say Raging Bull is better than Rocky. I'm like, ha,
No,
ha,
No,
there's no
No.
Raging Bull day.
no, it's so depressing.
There's-
It's just
you're right. And there's no Raging Bull tour either, okay?
no.
There's no Raging Bull podcast.
It's like there's no triumph. You know what I mean? There's no. I don't know. I watched it.
Jake LaMotta was just an ugly human being. He was just ugly.
terrible the way he.
And I like the boxing genre because of Rocky, obviously, but and there's a lot of good ones. I really liked Cinderella Man with Russell Crowe. That was a good one. Depressing can work. Like $1 Million Baby, I thought was a great film. But
Who
is a legend, right?
who did Russell Crowe play? What was the name of the boxer?
Oh crap, I forget his name now. Jim Braddock, I think.
Cinderella Man.
Yeah.
Who's on the
Cinderella Man.
who's on this heavyweight championship belt in the Rocky movies?
Yes, we covered this.
Yeah.
It's Jim Braddock?
Yep,
Wow.
I remember that.
Well, it was an underdog story too, right?
Oh my
But
god.
I like
yeah.
how it. So you saw the Great Depression and everything. I thought that was really well done. Chicken chasing.
Flies.
My cousin chased chickens for a summer job once, and he said it was the hardest job he ever had.
They move.
If you're
I love
looking
in the
for
prior
Kentucky Fried
scene
Idiot.
where he says, they had an outlaw southpaws. And then why did
I love
you tell
that
me?
scene.
Because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I'm like, since when is Mickey worried about hurting somebody's feelings? I always found that kind of funny.
Now, what's different with these sweatpants?
They're cut off? They
They look
can't,
high up.
or they're more rips?
There are no rips in these sweatpants.
Oh, sweatpants. These were his 10th grade sweatpants, right?
No, not these.
Not
the ones
these,
in the
okay.
original Rocky were. These
Got it.
are not the original Rocky sweatpants.
Do you think they're hoping that we think they are?
That's a good question. Because Rocky's got no money and he don't buy a new pair of sweatpants. They never document it. I don't know. I don't know. I think by this point those sweatpants were gone.
I'm gonna shop it up.
Yeah, he's just not into this training. His head's in another place.
You know, when romantically your mind is not in it, when you're off, when you're not communicating with your partner in
Right.
life, you can't do anything.
No, I've been at work, and your mind is completely somewhere else.
That's it.
I get what Rocky's going through.
Sure. And Leroy's somewhere in through here when he's jumping rope, I remember. There he is. There's
There he is.
Leroy Neiman. Remember when he says at the end of the Thunderlips fight, fight's over. Thank God. Now, where is that painting? Where's that drawing? Don't you want to see that out there somewhere? Stallion in 2 looks just like Win Rocky Win shirt, doesn't it?
Yep.
Now, this shirt Apollo's wearing, I have seen that out there on Etsy shops and so on. This is another one that the Sly Stallone shop should be carrying.
Yeah, he just can't concentrate. Rocky.
Mickey's so confused, like Rocky. What the hell's going on?
Man, Carl Weathers was in great shape, wasn't he?
Carl Weathers was in phenomenal shape, coming off of being a outside linebacker for the Oakland Raiders and then getting into acting for 3 years. He kept his physique. He worked very, very hard on his physique, and I promise you, Carl's ego was at the top of his game, and he said, "Listen, you want me to take my shirt off and dance around the ring? You got it. I worked hard on this body."
I think Carl Weathers is great in the sense that he worked with Stallone and Arnold in some of the biggest movies. Like that's just.
I think Carl is flawless in the Rockies and in Predator. I think he's totally flawless.
Yeah. I told people when I got friends, we talk about Predator all the time because it's one of our favorites, and I said the only thing that was missing was Stallone. Could you imagine if somehow they could have weaved those two together in that movie?
Jason, can you see in back of me the tiger jacket?
Yes.
Do you see the red boxing glove?
Yep.
What's behind the red boxing glove?
Oh, the Predator.
The Predator. It is the one and only thing I have down here that has nothing to do with Rocky. I love the Predator.
Yeah, me too. You
guys know who this is? Who's hitting Rocky? That's Roberto Duran.
Oh.
He's fast. Now, I do know the story about Stallone ripping his chest. That's why they had the switch him in the fight. So he
bench pressing contest with Franco Colombo.
I read Sly moves, and Sly says, "Stupid! I should have never done it." That was my own ego.
Yep. Sure. 45,000. Oh no. Here comes this idiot.
Yeah, this thing coming up. I mean, she says it,
Yeah.
She's thinking about the future. She's thinking about family. You know what I mean? She's not thinking.
I do think. I mean, Paulie's rough around the edges with her, but I think what he's saying is there's a lot of truth to it.
Mm.
Like he's gonna get even hurt more if you're not
right. Well, it's this double-edged sword that she's stuck in the middle of this.
Yeah,
because she understands that I need to support him so he doesn't get hurt more, but he's going to get hurt.
I love it too because he's like, I can't believe my ears. Did I train you? Did I teach you how to do that? This goes to show you how loyal Paul really is to Rocky, like how much of a friend he is, and he's kind of really upset with Adrian here, Paulie. Like but
I wonder if Adrian. I wonder if Adrian is Stallone's voice in his own head saying, I don't want to do Rocky 2. I want to do another movie that branches out. I want to do Fist, Paradise Alley, whatever. I want to do something else. I don't want to do Rocky 2. In other words, she's saying, don't fight again. Don't do Rocky again. Take a chance. Do something else. And then he has to say, no, this is what I'm at. This is what I'm best at. I mean, Stallone could say he could do any movie that he wants, and he knows it. Paulie, this son of a bitch. He knows Rocky is what he will be remembered for eternity. And man, what a great legacy to leave behind.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Here you go, Adrian. Tell him.
These two are always good. They're acting together.
They're great. What's the matter?
You're training like a damn bum. You know that?
Pumping gas in Jersey.
He's like a father, right? He's just so disappointed.
Yeah.
This was progressive for 76. Female.
Bringing a woman. Yeah.
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 Ooh, where is Adrian? Complications.
Oh man, Stallone's performance coming up here is just incredible. I don't think
Great
anybody
stuff.
cried. Nobody cries better than this guy. It's sloppy. It's messy. It's the way
pretty
you
good.
really cry, right?
Well, it's from
Yeah.
his guts. Yeah.
He's like that as Rambo too in First Blood. It's just
Sure.
he's so good at it. It just did a different performance because it's a different character.
He wore that headband with magic marker. He said, "If found, mail back to Las Vegas." He's always talking about his
Can't find his
Chevy.
fucking legs.
Fucking legs.
Legs.
My legs. Where this bar is I got. Love that. Love that. When this movie came out, my mother and I went everywhere looking for colored t-shirts. Back then, it was rare to find a colored t-shirt without a pocket on it. You couldn't do it. So I bought a yellow one, a powder blue one, a red one. And what I did was I took a stitch breaker. It was a tool my father had to break stitches. He was a tailor. And what I would do, I would go in and I would break the stitching around the pocket on the chest. And you would see the little dots where the stitching was all the way around it. But there was no pocket because you couldn't buy a t-shirt like that. I don't know where he got them at the time, but you couldn't buy it. This is like 1980 when I was looking for it. My mother and I would go to the Globe store looking for it.
There are these, every once in a while, there's these itty bitty details that you say that you and Kevin, he hates t-shirts with pockets.
Yeah, me too. I hate them. I hate them.
It's so funny.
So stupid. You can't use it for nothing.
Yeah. I think it was for a pack of cigarettes. You know, everyone was smoking.
Maybe. This nurse here, she was pretty good. She was on the Waltons. She was on a lot of shows. I'm going to say this a little ahead of time. Probably get caught up, especially when Mickey talks to Rocky. But the speech, the poem that Rocky writes her, I asked Stallone, whatever happened to that?
Yeah.
And Stallone said, unfortunately, I threw it out. Once we had it filmed, I just crumpled it up and I tossed it into a can. Could you imagine having that written piece of paper that he writes out?
Yeah.
I'm going to shake him.
He literally said, it's right over here in one of my photos of our conversations. He goes, I'm sorry, my friend. It got thrown out. Son of a bitch.
It's like my second favorite scene in the entire series.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like there's no music. He really hones in on the dialogue.
Good Goyle.
And ever since I come off your guys' show, this is not your fault. Don't think of it like this, but I got sick. I've been sick the last 2 weeks. I just started feeling better the last couple of days, and it's like
I get a sinus infection every year at this time. It kills me.
Yeah. Same here in Canada. It's just flu season and everything. Right?
That's funny. Everybody's allergies are in the spring and mine are in the fall. I don't get sick, but
allergies though.
The sneezing just kicks in all season.
Nowhere near.
You know what though? He says his thing and then he goes, "Okay, you want to lose it? Let's lose it together."
I know. That's why I love it.
Right?
He punches his hat and I'll lose it with you.
Yeah.
I love that Paulie, Mickey, and Rocky all have hats. Gazzo doesn't wear a hat.
I think this is a better performance than Rocky 1 as Mickey, like Burgess Meredith. If you're going to give him an Oscar, I think this is the one he should have got it for.
I don't know. That's arguable. In the apartment with Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's true too.
holy Christ.
That's my second favorite scene.
Ooh.
This is
I wish I did Rocky 1 with you guys. Man, I could have told you 1,000 stories about the Rocky 1 behind the scenes, because that's that and Rocky Balboa. That's the thing I know. I don't know that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot about Rocky 2, but not as much as the others. This is a church out in California, or a church. It's a hospital church in a hospital wing out in California.
Okay.
I forget the name of that. I forget the name of the hospital. It'll hit me.
Well, he clearly in this one got the fight he wanted, like with people and
yeah,
able to get the people in the background. And...
You know, you bring up. I'm glad you said that, Jason, because there is a point where if you read the credits, the end credits of Rocky 2, it talks. There are two people who are the editors of Rocky 2. How do one of my questions, when and if we get Sly on the podcast, one of the questions I have for him is, how does he know to trust those editors, that they will have the same vision he has? That is huge to me.
He's not in the editing room making those decisions.
He's got to be, but he can't be because there's so much going on.
There's also, there's second unit directors. Well, you probably know this, Mike, but in Expendables 1, Stallone did not direct the Jet Li Dolph Lundgren fight. That was a second unit or something like that.
Yeah, I heard that on the
when he did the
director's cut, they talked. Yeah.
He said, we just thought differently. We just had, and so the director's cut, Stallone edited it the way he originally visualized it.
Yeah.
Which is, it's just a little bit different, but I would never doubt the man's talent because he knows what action fans want. Completely knows what they want. So
I'll tell you what, Jason. In 2004, when there were rumblings about Rocky Balboa, I told Sly this. I doubted him. I remember having a conversation with my father. I remember saying, "What is Stallone thinking? Why is he Edward J. Burroughs, the sheriff of Comanche County?" That's a great book that he's reading right there.
He's also Edgar Rice Burroughs wrote The Princess of Mars and Tarzan.
Yeah, right. I remember doubting Sly before Rocky Balboa even went into production. And I thought, oh, my God, he's going to be 60 years old if this ever comes out. What's he doing? And I remember my father saying to me, he goes, you know what, Michael? He said, Sly he knows what he's doing. If he has his gut set on something, he goes, he pretty much he's going to bring it home. He goes, don't undercut him. He goes, and then when my father told me, I was like, all right, I'll give him an opportunity. I'll be open to this thought of a 60-year-old Rocky. And God damn it, he did it.
That documentary opened my eyes to a lot of things, because I didn't know that. I thought it was a choice for him to raise his daughters. That's why he wasn't acting a whole lot. I didn't realize that he was spat out. I had no idea. I thought he chose this. I'm going to take a big break, raise the girls. Then he got. I had no idea that no one was coming knocking anymore.
Yeah.
I said, no, you're done. You're just you got no marquee value, no.
Yeah, when he did Copland, he burned a lot of bridges when he did Copland.
He was so good in that.
It was an excellent movie. For the life of me, I can't figure out why it failed. I don't get it. I understand why it might not have been a $500 million movie, but I don't understand why it failed. I have no idea why it failed.
That's a director I actually like. I think he makes good movies.
Berg? Mangold. James Mangold. Pete Berg was in it. Sorry. Pete Berg is a director too.
Ford v Ferrari. If you guys ever watch it, it made me feel like I was watching Rocky.
Really?
It has the same kind of, when you just watch it and watch the end, it almost has that same glow to it, like that you get Again, it's not about racing. It's about human condition.
One of the few Rockies we see Rocky have, 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Only other movie was Rocky Balboa, Rocky 4. Because the one thing Rocky had control over was shaving, and it could make him look clean cut. He had no money for clothes, but he could shave.
Yeah.
And he was always clean cut there. Aww.
I haven't been through this, but I have been through like my wife going into surgery
Mm-hmm.
and not being to be there, and you just, there's always a thought like something could go massively wrong, but so you kind of you're so glad to see each other when you wake up.
Mike knows about that.
He's got forearms like him, Mickey. The blue boxing gloves.
Her face.
The only really big stressful thing that happened when my first son was born. When my
He's like,
it's a lot of hair for a newborn.
when my wife was pregnant for our
Yeah.
first, she come home and saying she thinks she had a miscarriage, right?
Yeah.
And so we take her to the doctor, and apparently they said no, you haven't lost anything, but the doctor said there's a little indent on her wall, so they think she lost a twin.
Oh, okay.
But my son Elijah dug himself in so much, right? And that was a scary moment because
Sure.
and then apparently twins run in my family too. So
oh wow.
one of the best moments. Bill Conti deserves so much credit for this franchise too, because the music is the heart of this whole thing. Like it's
just mute it. Mute anybody watching right now. If you've ever doubted the power of Bill
music,
Conti, just mute this.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same.
No, it never is.
Forget about it.
That's any movie, really. It just is flat.
Yeah, music is everything.
Oh yeah, like I say that a lot on my channel. I said music's the heartbeat of your whole film.
Put Rick Ashley's "Never Gonna Let You Down" right here. Put that in here. See if you feel the same way. Yeah,
quite. Yeah,
love it.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite training montage.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
But this is the trend, as soon as she's in, he's 100 miles an hour.
Boom.
Yep.
I love it.
She's the key that unlocks everything.
Yeah. But that's for me in past relationships, either you're lifting each other up or you're sucking the energy out of each other. And if your partner's not, you know what I'm saying? You want that partner to be filling you up.
Oh, yeah.
And I've made decisions based on this relationship.
I love doing those. Sometimes I'll just wake up in the morning before work and just do about 3 minutes of shoulders and
that's
Stuart Robinson going to town on his abs.
Yeah, montages were so. I don't know why they went away. Because they tell a lot of
I love them.
They work. Stallone's the king of montage.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get through time.
It is. And when he hits that bag, oh my God, the end. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Look at
right
him,
here.
Man.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, here's the music. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
Love me,
the
Bill.
bells. I love
Oh yeah.
The use of the bells in his
Oh
music.
yeah.
Look at the hair.
I mean,
he's
Bill
so
Conti's a guy I'd like to ask some questions to musically, just
cute.
music,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Look at him. I want
He's like a little Monchichi or something.
a little chia pet hair.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So cute.
Another montage. I can't get
Yay!
enough.
It never gets
Gotta
old.
love it.
I'm
Never.
sorry.
Never. So that's South Philly. This is Northeast Philly up in Kensington.
Okay.
I love this shot here where the camera comes up. I absolutely
Yep.
love it. I mean,
All those tracks are gone now. Rocky's
Really?
not anymore. This is back in South Philly, the Italian market. He runs the opposite way where he got the orange thrown to him in the first movie.
oh, cool.
We have to circle back to Paul Farber, by the way.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
got some time with Sly. This is back up in Kensington now. You'll see right over to the lower right-hand side. Look way at the right-hand side, the Lucky 7. Not there, not yet, not yet. Right there, look to the right-hand side. All the way there in the corner, you'll see the white sign there. That's the Lucky 7 where yeah. This is down in just right behind the art museum. This is Kelly Drive, Fairmount Park.
So the big Rocky run, is it Rocky running where he ran? Is that where
They follow the Rocky 2 run religiously,
okay,
which
cool.
makes it a 38-mile run. So that was Chestnut Street that he was just on, right by the Tiger Jacket store. This is Independence Hall, which is down in Old City. And then we see the fountain. Now watch right here. See those kids fall right there?
Right. Yes.
Yes.
I've seen that. It's
So
terrible.
now he's coming down the street. Go, go, go. The guy in the
Come
10
on,
speed
Peter
can't keep up.
You could run, man.
Look at this. Look at that. Glorious.
Shot.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Never gets old, Stacy.
I know.
Never.
Doesn't
Never.
love it. Either there's the fight coming up.
Jesus.
When I get there, we're watching them all. Like
Good.
We're,
Good.
We're just gonna sit there and watch them all.
No, I'll hold my
Went
breath
through.
until you get here.
Yeah. Trying.
Who
I
organi-
know.
who
I'd
came up-
like to tease.
Who came up with Rocky Day? Was that Philadelphia?
No.
Like who
Oh.
started?
That's a bit of a long story.
What is it? I missed it. I have my volume up too high.
Who came up with Rocky Day?
That's a very, very long story. I'll tell you that off air someday.
I'm glad
I
it
love
happened though.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all glad it happened. I love how Apollo punches it. He just perfectly times it to like.
Mm.
I love the way he times it. Yeah, he ain't getting no sleep the night before. No way. No way.
See, for me, there's a thought in his mind that this ain't gonna be easy. He wants it to be easy. He thinks it, but I think there's in the back of his mind, he's like,
He knows.
maybe
You're
it
right,
really
Jason.
is.
You are right.
That was so important, and I'm glad Stallone never cut that.
Me too.
Well, I think that's where reality sets in. Like, oh, I could be losing or almost losing again. Oh,
I think I'm getting a headache. No, you are perfect.
So the
Oh,
Rocky
what-
2 leather jacket right here, they made 3 leather jackets. The one in Rocky 1 is the one Stallone bought when he was 17 years old at a store called Corvettes. The one in Rocky 2 was made by the prop department because his physique had changed. And then they
Mhm.
made a third jacket in Rocky 5 because he was much lighter than where he was here.
So, what movie was Talia Shire filming? Why she couldn't
I
be-
believe she was filming a movie about a bear who got into toxic nuclear waste in the Pacific Northwest. It was like Jaws, only it was a bear in the woods. I forget the name. I watched it about 2 years ago, and I'm almost positive that was the movie she was doing. I could be wrong though. Could be another movie.
I saw her in something where she plays a crazy, she called The Landlady.
Oh, really?
And it's a horror film where she's the psychopath, and I just could not take her serious in it because I just saw it's around when she did Rocky 5, I think. She looked around
Gotcha.
that. Maybe 98.
She did a BMX bike movie too as well.
But it was just like so funny seeing her in a role like that.
So between January 1st and Thanksgiving, November, when the fight takes place, Rocky has a birthday. So somewhere in there, Rocky turned 31. Now, I assume it's Rocky's, Stallone's birthday, but I could be wrong.
We don't
so
know.
This
do we know what Rocky's birthday actually is?
Not yet. This is St. Thomas Aquinas Church in South Philly. It looks nearly identical. That window is identical to how it is. It's not the same place Rocky takes Tommy Gunn. That's another church. But this is Paul J. McHale, the actor, and he's been the same Father Carmine throughout the series. He's a Portuguese actor who felt he was being discriminated against in the acting community, and he changed his name to Paul J. McHale. Tonight, it won't be too bad, The front of this church is the church that we see when Rocky invites the tiger to get out for the weekend. It cuts to the front of this church, but it is not the interior of this church. And where he goes, he's got about 80 feet. It's a playground, and there's massive buildings right there. So he's like stopping as soon as he's out of camera line.
Right.
You ever notice how Rocky's t-shirt matches the walls?
Yeah.
I do now. Oh my God.
Okay. Sorry. I know.
Oh, that's a good fishbowl shot right there.
Yeah, it is a good shot of the fishbowl, and I wouldn't have that without you, Stacy. I mean, you got me the fishbowl. There's no doubt about it.
Let me tell. When we found out, we asked you that.
Boom! I was on it. Bought it. Done.
Oh, I was like, we can't have Michael not have something.
Oh, that was.
Yeah,
that was awesome. Amazing. That was fun.
I really like the colors in this fight, like the yellow and the red and a lot of mist in the background, the smoke and mist or whatever you want to call it. It's really good. I just love the look and feel of this fight. It's my favorite fight too. I know a lot of people go on about the Rocky IV fight, but I think Stallone should be awfully proud of this one.
I agree.
He looks great.
And also, colors. Yes, of course, from the high school he never graduated from. But the back of this robe is the Italian Stallion logo. The original never had snorting. I don't believe there's snorting from the nose of the stallion on this. Oh. I could be wrong, but let's check it out. Maybe I'm wrong. Sometimes I forget things.
Unlikely.
Nope,
you're right.
I don't think there was snorting. And it was after this, everything changed. He changed the diagram. And that's one of the things that I really want to ask Sly. Who created the Italian Stallion logo? Was that the prop department? Was that marketing, merchandising? Or did Sly come up with that? I've always wanted to know.
Well, he also must have backstories of all these characters and
he
things
does.
You don't see.
No, he has total backstories. It's incredible. Which is true. That's Lincoln High. Lincoln High is where Stallone went to high school, and that was their colors. Now, I'll say a little segue into Rocky 3. In Rocky 3, when he fights Clubber Lang and Rocky loses, Rocky's all in golden. Yes, he has black trim, gold robe, gold gloves, gold shorts, gold boots. That is because Stallone bought it. He took a page from The Golden Boy. The Golden Boy cannot be touched, right? So that's why Rocky was all in gold.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually my Rocky 3 figure. So he's wearing the belt.
Oh yeah, right.
It looks very Rocky 2 like though. One of my favorites.
I've always wondered who came up with that star pentagram, not a pentagram, but that star diagram
ring.
in the ring, in the center of the ring. It's Apollo's colors and Rocky's colors. Does it signify anything, or is it just an artistic design of the ring? I wonder what that is.
I think I have to ask Tony C. I think Tony C might have looked into that. I feel like I had that conversation with him.
Nice. I'd love to know that because I don't know the answer to that.
Marianne.
Well, yeah, she's a pretty lady.
I think there were three or four Marianne Creeds.
I think it'd be nice to talk to Sly about the smaller characters. Like, did you ever have plans for Marianne Creed, or did you ever have like what was your thoughts of all that kind of stuff? I think he has said he wouldn't have killed. He regrets killing Apollo.
Yeah,
he does. He absolutely does.
He thought differently back then, right? He said he just thought.
Yeah, well, he had to. Yeah, and you'll see how
trajectory.
Oh, totally. You'll also notice how thin, the lack of thickness in Sly's chest. He couldn't work his chest at all, and so it was very almost flat because of the injury.
Mm-hmm.
But his shoulders, traps, and arms are just legendary.
Well, the way he filmed this on one side, he filmed it really well because you don't even notice it.
Yeah, you can see it. Yep.
You can see it in that one picture right there. Look, you can see how flat that right side of the chest is.
Wow.
Who cares?
He gets hammered in these first two rounds too.
Crucified.
His physique is so different in every movie.
Yeah.
Like in Rambo 3, his back is like he's like Rambo back. He's just like.
People have no idea how big Sylvester Stallone's back is. It is a massive billboard of a back. It's huge. Huge.
Great. The fight's so good.
This is why I love Rocky 3, because his whole style changes.
Yeah.
He's not so lead-footed. I love that transition.
Right. He's completely modeled after Rocky Marciano.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
He actually ducks.
Yes.
And what people don't seem to forget about Rocky, and he says this in Rocky, he tells Adrian, I could swat hard. Rocky is very strong. Like he's got a massive hook on him. And this is what when he starts punching Apollo's shoulders, he's knocking his shoulders out. So he can't lift them anymore, right? My dad always liked that. How Rocky would punch on his shoulders.
I love how Stallone sells it here. Jesus.
Oh.
But you remember Muhammad Ali when he was young? How unorthodox he was. He would just, no one could catch him. He would just be like that. Like, that's who Apollo essentially is fighting like. I would love to see the rise of Apollo Creed. I would love to see that.
Stallone wrote it. He wants to do it in the Amazon miniseries.
Did he?
Yeah, he wrote a scene where Rocky Rocky would be about 18 years old and sitting in the bleachers section in Philadelphia, and he would be watching Apollo win the Golden Globes in not Golden Gloves in Philadelphia, and Rocky would be amazed at this up and comer Apollo Creed.
Well, he got really offended when the bartender said, "You're calling Apollo Creed a clown." So there's something there, right?
Sure, totally. I'm dangerous. Shades of Adonis Creed there.
Well, that's where it's all coming from. I do appreciate Ryan Coogler having a special love letter to his father.
Can you?
I don't know. I don't know the details like you, Mike. So.
Yeah. Well, let's take the high road. I get it.
The only thing I know is when Stallone got involved, he said that they were this close. They were very close, but he altered a lot of their writing.
Yeah.
That's all I know, really.
Yeah. I love that. God, Carl Weathers was just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's good.
When you watch Carl Weathers fight, okay, and then you watch Antonio Tarver fight, night and day.
Yeah, no comparison.
I mean, Antonio Tarver is the heavyweight champion in Rocky Balboa in real life, right? But Carl Weathers, he makes you believe.
Oh yeah,
he's the heavyweight champion.
Yeah. It's funny. So I don't know if Conor McGregor, like the arrogance for some people, that arrogance drives me crazy. Like you want to punch him in the face, but for him, it works somehow, or worked. It made him
right.
I don't know. He
that's
believes it.
the way Muhammad Ali was. It just it
perfect
his character.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is, and then other people are trying. It's like, yeah, you're not selling it.
Oh, Rocky's in it now.
Yep.
Music.
Conquest.
Yes.
I love that. I'm standing here. I love that.
He ain't backing down. I ain't going down no more.
It's where my cousins would watch this movie together. Right at that moment, would be like, "Oh, we're in it now, man." The body. He edited the fight so well to the music.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I love the atmosphere. All the smoke starts filling up the background on the wider shot.
She's so cute. Hit him. Oh, she never gets old. I just love her to pieces.
Imagine this Apollo fighting Ivan Drago.
Would have been a different fight.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's funny how he's
one thing I really love in Rocky 1 is you hear on the radio at the bar, Apollo's last fight, he defeats Buddy in 12 rounds. So Apollo's been in long drawn out fights before. It's not like this is new territory for him.
Do you think how the poster was wrong? And he had, red shorts and a white stripe, but he was wearing a white, and now Apollo's wearing what was in the poster.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm wondering if that, or do is that on purpose? Like, oh, well, let's go with that.
I've never asked them. Rocky 1 and Balboa, those those are my anchors, and those
Yeah.
are the ones I've asked him 200 questions on.
Yeah.
And I really need to ask him more about Rocky 2. And because one of the main reasons, Rocky was originally going to wear red shorts with a white stripe. But Stallone did not like the idea the blood wouldn't show on red shorts.
True.
So he wanted to change that, make him wear white shorts. So the blood still isn't going to show on the red shorts of Apollo now. So why now is it okay to wear red shorts? I wonder that. Like,
because you don't want to feel as bad for Apollo.
Maybe, right? Yeah.
I got a question for you, Mike, if you can answer it anyway.
Yeah.
How much was, I know like Stallone fought to play Rocky, but how much was he involved in all the shot choices, or was it John Avildsen? Was he really the true director of that?
No, Avildsen was the director. He was the true director.
Mm-hmm.
But
was Stallone happy with the product? Like, with everything?
Very happy. Okay. I asked him point blank, Sly, is there anything you would ever change about Rocky? He goes, no, there's nothing I would change about that movie, with one exception. At the fight, you know where the empty bleachers are? You can see. He said CGI, maybe I might fill those in if I ever redid it. Other than that, I would not add or subtract anything from Rocky. It is a perfect movie.
It is.
And I agree.
Well, you know that John G. Avildsen did the Karate Kid as well.
Of course,
he's really good at those kind of stories. So.
Now, Sly was involved in a great deal of things. Sly actually choreographed all of the fights, and when John would set up the lens and the camera and whatever, he and Sly would work on it. It was always, as far as I know, John Avildsen. He was the true director of Rocky 1. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That's just incredible.
Yeah, I don't like what John wanted to do with Rocky 2. It was going into some dark territory.
Well, I don't know the full scope of the story there. I don't know if it was originally Stallone's idea or Avildsen's idea to have Rocky become, not handle his celebrity well, going drunk on the Johnny Carson show, showing up drunk, grabbing ass at the Playboy Mansion, having Adrian leave him. I don't know if that was Stallone's idea or John Avildsen's idea. I have to go back and rewatch that interview again for some clarity. I don't need no tricks. All right. You got to switch, kid. You got a plan. Nah, no way.
Love it.
Enter Rocky 3. It's Blind Instinct.
This is one of the movies that came out.
Look at Carl Weathers. Look at Carl Weathers move. Holy Christ, does he sell the punch? Jesus, nobody sells it. Not even Stallone. Nobody sells it like Carl Weathers. Jesus Christ.
Good Tony, eh? Tony's like
Tony. Oh,
he's the best.
The pain in his face.
You don't get fights like this no more. I tell you that.
Oh man, no way.
So exhausted. Imagine having all that raw footage of the fight, and then the editing room going, "How do I make a story out of this?" It'd be so fun.
Look at this. Look at the beauty of this. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. See, Carl Weathers has to make that decision in the moment.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, that's what a good actor brings. It's so fun. I can't even count how many times I've seen this. It hurts every time to watch it. I know exactly how it's going to end, but you bite your nails like, what's going to happen? Even though you know.
Yeah, he draws it out right to the last moment here, right?
Yes. And you're counting.
Get on your feet.
I couldn't imagine a theater at that time. They must have just been like, "Get up!"
And she's like, "Oh, I so
See,
get it."
He had to win this time. People would have walked out of the theater
Yeah.
just freaking disappointed. I think they would have just been like, "What was the point of all that?"
Lou Filippo.
Apollo almost looks like he's gonna win for a moment. He almost looks like he's up.
You know,
I've good job.
It almost looks like a decision. I don't know. On Apollo's part.
Apollo just doesn't have it. It's just that one fraction of a second. Apollo didn't have it. That's exhausted. It. Boom. Done.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yes. Yes. Love it.
Oh, so good.
Look at that face.
Blood coming off his cheeks and everything.
So
Brilliant.
good.
I love that image. You know, this image right here with Mickey and Rocky, it's actually underneath the Rocky 2 statue right here. On this base, it's underneath this. Yeah, it's awesome.
Dunahan, Bill Baldwin.
Unbelievable.
Excellent stuff.
Yeah, man. Hey, this has been great. This has been so much fun.
Thank you so much. This is great. I'm glad we worked out a time.
I got to tell you, good stuff.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mike, for all those great stories and everything. And, you know, everyone watching after the fact or, you know, on the rerun, whatever you guys want to call it. Thanks for watching. Check out the Rocky Files, too. They're awesome. Great stories, great conversation. And I was recently a guest. You guys definitely want to check that out. So, yeah, you guys... Awesome. This was a lot of fun, and Rocky 3's coming to you soon. With
awesome.
Beautiful. Well,
we're excited.
Until we see you again, my friend, keep punching.
Keep punching.
And yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time, and I'll see you in the movies. Cheers.